NASA wants to have a conversation about UFOs, a very serious conversation.
NASA believes that the study of unidentified anomalous phenomena represents an exciting step forward in our quest to uncover the mysteries of the world around us.
Right. I've already gotten it wrong. They don't call them UFOs anymore. They call them UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena. And I say it's a serious conversation because, normally when we talk about weird, unexplained sightings, it goes in one of two directions. Either it's the realm of hushed whispers behind closed doors.
Are you familiar with the so-called X-Files?
I believe they have to do with unexplained phenomena.
More or less.
Highly classified military encounters, intelligence officials handling top secret information, Area 51, the public wants to know but never will, sort of stuff.
The president's called an emergency meeting.
I'm going to recommend to the president that we militarize this project.
Or it's conspiracy theories, unhinged, unreliable, unbelievable accounts of bright lights and flying saucers.
And how did the aliens return you all to Earth?
Because my grand exit was out of what was basically like a big airplane toilet, okay? I dropped down 7 feet onto the roof of a Long John Silver's.
Well, NASA announced to the world yesterday, there's a middle ground, and it's setting up shop.
We do not come in with an agenda. We come in needing a roadmap. Indeed, the primary objective of this incredible team of experts is not to go back and look at grainy footage of UAPs, but rather to give us a roadmap to guide us for future analysis.
Okay, they've got our attention. So why does NASA want in on the UFO business, UAP, sorry, and what exactly are they proposing? For about a year now, a 16-member panel of experts has been hard at work. They are astronauts, physicists, astrobiologists, and they've been poring over a mountain of unclassified sightings. Their conclusion, they're not impressed.
The current data collection efforts regarding UAPs are unsystematic and fragmented across various agencies, often using instruments uncalibrated for scientific data collection.
So basically, there is no cohesive system, no clear standard for spotting and measuring and gathering scientific data on UAPs. It's just kind of a mess. And we know this intuitively, right? We've all seen those slapdash videos of random people whipping out their phones.
Please tell me this is the end of the world.
Only to catch this terrible footage of God knows what.
Something none of us had ever seen before. It was a completely different color. The size of the illumination was different.
And that's what they mean when they say uncalibrated instruments. For example, your phone that you use to capture that bright light in the sky. It's optimized for daylight, not nighttime shooting. Even US military sensors, NASA argues, fall short.
DoD sensors are not scientific sensors. They are not intelligence community sensors. Believe it or not, intelligence community sensors are very close to scientific sensors. They are calibrated, they are high precision, they are everything you'd ever want to know about a thing. DoD sensors have one purpose. They are to identify an object that is known and put a weapon on it.
They gave this interesting example in the Middle East, an American MQ-9, that's a military drone. It spotted this last year. You can kind of see that sphere flying through the air, right? It kind of looks metallic, I guess. Hard to tell how big it might be. Well, this is an example of really cool, entirely unhelpful video. NASA scientists said, how can you conclude anything from this? Like, there are no real clues, no obvious signs of propulsion, no impact, no data, nothing. And that's military. Imagine trying to apply the scientific method to the kind of stuff that the general public sends in.
And if I think about the data that people have out there, it's in many ways what we'd like to think of as citizen science. But again, it is uncalibrated data.
But here's the thing. This shortcoming in good data almost seems to just get NASA excited because they see a vacuum and opportunity here. You know, NASA is looking straight down the barrel of funding cuts right now. They've warned U.S. Congress of devastating and potentially unrecoverable impacts if they go through. And they think we might all really benefit from the scientific rigor that they bring to the exploration of whatever life might be out there. Setting aside, of course, that they didn't find anything suggesting there's life out there.
As a corollary, to date, in the refereed scientific literature, there is no conclusive evidence suggesting an extraterrestrial origin for UAP.
So what did they find? Well, they looked at hundreds of cases, again, all unclassified from the last quarter century. And there were some pretty interesting trends. A little less than half of UAPs were round. Spheres, orbs, that kind of thing. Other less common shapes included things like squares, rectangles, triangles, even cylinders. And a big chunk of sightings were just lights, which, maybe don't have any real shape at all. They tended to be a couple of meters large. Common colors were white, silver, or translucent, and generally with no clear exhaust that would, explain how it's traveling so fast. So basically, unlike most kinds of aircraft we're familiar with that actually obey the laws of aerodynamics.
I also emphasized to Congress that only a very small percentage of UAP reports display signatures that could reasonably be described as anomalous. The majority of unidentified objects reported to Aero and in our holdings demonstrate mundane characteristics of readily explainable sources.
Translation, usually what we see is pretty benign, not aliens.
I would say the lesson of my career has been, you want to address important questions, you need high-quality data with well-calibrated instruments.
And here's the real takeaway. NASA believes that if only we had better data, we would actually be able to have intelligent conversations about UAPs and extraterrestrial origins based on solid ground.
That light? There was a noise. Did you hear it?
The man's inebriated.
I'm not drunk.
So one way NASA proposes we get more solid data is to rid ourselves of the stigma that comes with reporting UAPs.
Commercial pilots, for example, are very reluctant to report anomalies. And one of our goals in having NASA play a role is to remove stigma.
And there are signs that's starting to happen. Last summer, the Pentagon reported it was compiling hundreds of new sightings, attributing the spike to the idea that spotting UAPs isn't necessarily a sign that you're just seeing things. It's just the responsible thing to do. Case in point.
The giant Chinese balloon that had been floating across parts of the United States has been shot down by an American fighter jet.
We've got images taken of the spy balloons by high-altitude U-2 planes, show in detail 5 antennas and huge solar panels. The kind of technology that gave the Chinese not just the ability to listen to U.S. communications and to pinpoint exactly where they were coming from, who they were coming from.
I should repeat what was said at the beginning of all of this, that NASA's intention yesterday wasn't to announce some grand plan to track UAPs. It was really about dialogue and stating the need for a roadmap. Now, it's expecting to issue a final report by July, but in the meantime, there are ideas out there. Maybe we could find or create some platform to crowdsource reliable data in a prescribed format. Or maybe, they say, NASA could take advantage of large-scale scientific instruments that we already have, but just point them upwards. Using existing satellites, better coordination of experts and agencies, partnerships between countries, sharing of information, file all of those under easier said than done. But if you want to know more, NASA says that's how you get there, because there is an explanation for all those strange things people see in the skies, and NASA thinks it can find it.
Simply put, this is why we do what we do.